Hey everybody, it's Safi and Marco, Dish Out on the Movies. Today we are doing episode 2 of the 4th season of Dark Winds.
What's the episode called?
It's called Toward Their Unknown Paths.
Oh.
Which, I don't know about that title.
Okay.
I just don't.
I don't know what to make of that.
It's very vague. But you know what? It's kind of like a representation of the episode. Not much happened in it.
It's like when you go to the refrigerator to look around for like a snack and you open up the fridge and there's nothing in there that like you can have for a snack and you're just like, oh, okay. That's what this episode is a representation.
Well, if it would be okay if they had more than 8 episodes.
Yeah.
That would be fine. But they don't. So I don't get what they're... and it kind of worries me because I'm thinking maybe the whole story is... There's not much to it.
It was okay this episode though. It wasn't bad.
No, they did a good job. It's very... It's so much more well done. Now... Except...
In terms of technical, you mean...
Yes, yeah.
It's technically
well
done.
At night, they had the... you could see the wind blowing up the sand of the desert. And you could see, flying up. And then they show the... one of the... it was the bad guy, I guess. I'll say bad guy. It's a woman. But their radiator had gotten shot, and you could see the trail of radiator fluid, which is highly poisonous. And I hope he didn't, I don't think he stuck his finger in his mouth. He smelled it. He should have just been able to smell it, maybe, because it's mixed in with the car, but it's that stuff is very poisonous. So anyway... I mean, you can't even have a drop of it. You'd be dead.
Well, I would like to first off... You're going to do that the whole video, Safi?
No, I just moved it out of the way.
Okay, take the earphone out of your ear.
I don't have any earphones
you guys
in
don't
my
know...
ear.
Yeah, you did.
No, I don't.
There's one right there.
No, I don't.
You guys don't know. Safi's been walking around like she's some kind of a CIA agent with an earphone stuck in her ear all the time.
I don't have my earphones in my ears. Look where they are.
I did that in 2019, and I got horrible earwax problems. I had to pick it all out of my ear.
Why are you talking about that?
Because I had the earphone in all the time, and then it gave me tinnitus. And but last week, I would like to talk about the very first episode again.
Okay.
Because looking back, I thought that this episode was a little bit more balanced in terms of, the story and the characters the second episode. And so maybe the reason why they made the first episode so focused on Manuelito is because they wanted to close the gap between seasons 3 and 4. So they wanted to make it feel like, okay, well, we're done with that now. Now it's going to be more balanced, and we're going to have more moments with Jim and Joe. It's not just going to be the Manuelito show. But it still has this kind of weird feeling like the whole show is kind of framed around her. It's like the whole show, the whole story now is all about, like, it's all centered on Manuelito. And I will say, too, I think that her actress is doing better now. I think that she was not good in the first and second season, but she's gotten better with acting. And of course, all the acting is mostly good except for Joe Sleephorn. He just makes you want to fall asleep. As I said before, he is probably the worst main character that I've ever seen in a movie or TV show ever. Or one of the top 10 worst.
It's nothing against the actor either, because we've seen him in other things.
Well, it is, because why is he giving this performance of a 90-year-old guy who's just like, I mean, it's kind of like, remember Gene Hackman before he died? Like, people hadn't seen Gene Hackman for years, and then all of a sudden people saw him out in public, and he looked like a zombie. And he's just like...
He had dementia or Alzheimer's.
I'm going to pick up some candy bar. And that's what Joe Leaphorn is like. That's what this guy... And it's like, he is not that old. The character...
Not at all.
He's supposed to be the main character. This is only the 4th season of the show. And he's like, I'm Joe Leaphorn. I'm going to go retire and drink some Ensure. What's up with that?
I don't know. I'm wondering if they directed him like that. Because we've seen him in other roles. He's not like that.
Yeah, in Fargo.
No, he was ruthless. He was like the, what would you call the Native American Terminator.
He was relentless and he was scary, and he had an energy to where I was really excited to see him as a main character of a show. And for some reason in this show, though, he's not allowed to be a cool main character. He has to be this boring old man character.
And that was not in the book.
And, I don't know, like, would the books have gotten popular if the main character was like this?
I don't know.
Where he's this boring guy?
You know how books give more detail and videos give more visual. So, I don't know. But he wasn't like that. He was like a silent pillar of strength and creativity and what would you call it? The ability to solve crimes by looking at, like a Columbo or a Monk, or just looking at all the details, but in his way, in the way of the book. With they don't even show this. It would be front and center. The map. They had, anybody who's read the books, there would be a map up on the wall, or it's a board, big, with push pins, where different crimes would occur, and every time a certain kind of crime occurred, they put a certain color, and then you could actually trace a pattern. And so we don't know what else they're working on, but there's nothing. There's no board, nothing, no map, nothing, nowhere.
I thought they had that in season 1 or 2.
They did.
They did.
Yeah. But it wouldn't be taken down.
But then they dropped it. They dropped it from the show.
It'd still be there.
Oh.
Why not? What does it matter? Why can't it still be there?
Because
it would be there if it was a book.
Because Manuelito wouldn't need a board like that. She can just do whatever. But I'd also like to say, before we really get into the episode, and I know some people might say get on with the review, but there's really not much that happened in this episode.
No, there's not.
It was basically like a 45-minute chase sequence. And
yeah.
But last night, I kind of wondered, like, what should I watch? I knew that Dark Winds was already on and I could watch that. But I thought, okay, maybe I could watch a new movie that I haven't seen. Or maybe I could watch a couple of other TV shows that I'm already watching. And it's so funny because I did. Instead of watching Dark Winds, I watched an episode of The Office. I watched an episode of The Mentalist. And I tried to watch an episode of Welcome to Derry, but I could not for some reason. There were Wi-Fi problems.
Oh.
But it really says something, though. My point is, before watching Dark Winds, which I watched it this morning, I didn't want to watch it first. I wanted to watch 3 other shows. And so just think about that. Think about how bad that is. Because you think about the average viewer who's not me, even though I'm a part of the audience. I'm not a critic. Just imagine someone random is watching TV and they look at the channel guide and they see all these different shows and movies and they see, oh, Dark Winds is on. And then instead of going to watch Dark Winds, they go to watch 3 other shows. That's not a good sign, to be honest. That's like, uh-oh. Because that means that maybe they wouldn't watch it at all. Maybe they'll just say, you know what, who cares? I'll just watch other stuff. So, what do you think of that, Safi?
Whatever.
Whatever?
Well, I didn't watch the hockey game.
What?
The USA versus Canada
Hockey?
men's hockey game, which was a gold medal hockey game.
Safi, hockey is gay.
No, that's not, because a lot of people love hockey. I'm not a fan of it.
Yeah,
but anyway,
it's fine, but like...
I wanted to watch some of the closing ceremonies. Well, everything was all over, and they didn't show anything, so I had to look for it, like where people took videos, or the network, the Olympic Committee, whatever, put out their own stuff. And so I was just looking for that to see what happened, what it looked like. I was hoping that that wolf dog that they had that crashed the Olympic trial for the cross country women's skiers. I was hoping that that it would be in the closing ceremonies. A lot of people wanted that dog to be there, but it didn't look like it was. It didn't go. It wasn't allowed to be there. I should put it that way, which is too bad. But anyway, so that's what I did, and I could have watched Dark Winds too, but I did want to see this other stuff. So I was having, and we have internet problems like at certain times, and there's like one time in the evening, a real bad time, and then there's one time like at 4 p.m. I don't know what goes on at these times where it's bad. And you can't. It's just hard to get anything. So, but the thing is, my thing was I'm just afraid to see what's going to happen next. That it's not going to be as good as I hoped it would be.
Yeah.
I think that for me that's that's the thing. And it's real cold today. And it snowed again, but not like the East Coast has been pounded. Apparently, I mean, really bad. And, but we just got, I don't know what we got, an inch or so.
And we didn't miss much by not watching it last night. There's really not much to miss.
No, I was very, and it's okay with me, except they only have 8 episodes.
Yeah.
So now you gotta wonder, this must not be because Marco said, and I looked it up myself, this is based on the Ghost Way book. I don't know, there's just not much resemblance to the book. I was going to read it again, but I read it last year because I was going to read all of the books, but... So
that's typical Safi. It's like, I'm going to read all the books, and she just reads 2.
No, I have already read every book he's written, and all of her books. Unless she wrote something recently, I've read every single one of them, even that crappy Fly on the Wall.
That's like, I'm going to lose...
Which has nothing to do with any of them.
I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to lose 50 pounds, and then I just lost 2. And go,
I don't need to lose 50 pounds at all. I weighed 96, so I had to gain weight. My doctor was having a cow.
Well, Safi, see, we're talking about this Dark Winds show. Dark Winds
let's
season
stop
4,
about it. You're the one who got
episode 2.
off.
I didn't get off at all. The episode opens up with
the mistake scene.
The milkshake scene.
Which we talked about. And it's I guess you could think about it, you're almost done with it, right? And so you live in an orphanage where the nun is a BIT, and so you're going to end up going back there, I guess. And so you say, well, you ask for another one to, fortify yourself before you have to head back there. So I guess I can understand that, but it kind of...
I can't, because she didn't finish it.
I know, that's why I say, but you want to make sure there's going to be another one.
And the thing is...
when she does finish it.
The last couple of drinks from a milkshake, that's the best part of the milkshake. Because that's when, if there's whipped cream, the whipped cream mixes in with the milkshake. And it's when you get that infamous slurping sound that you hear in movies and TV shows. But she did not finish it, and they focused on the milkshake.
They did. They put the camera right on it. They zoomed right in on it. I was like, my God, they did. I can't believe they did that.
They're like, look at our continuity error. Look, it's right here, just in case you didn't miss it. Just in case you missed it the first episode, here it is. Safi and Marco dish out on the movies. Have talked about this before.
Well, anyway, they're talking about... Are we doing spoilers? Is that okay?
Yeah.
They're looking for somebody. Now, the thing is, he was living in L.A. Or, yeah, I think so. So that's California. This is, what, New Mexico. And he comes all the way there, seeks her out to find somebody. So that somebody, why is he coming there? Because the somebody is there? So who are they looking for? So
another guy.
I know. Who? And so they mentioned somebody named McNair, and I listened to it a couple times to try to hear.
Oh.
And so...
that's helpful.
But that's it. And then all of a sudden, he sees that woman pulling up, and he knows her vehicle, and he tells her to go hide behind the counter. The waitress comes out, and he stands there, and the woman pulls up, and he puts his hands up, like, you know, if you were going to be arrested or something, you put your hands up that you don't have any, to show you don't have any weapon or whatever. And so the waitress comes, and she and the girl is still back there, and she hides her behind a little curtain, and then also she uncovers another one. She's got a huge, my God, it was a huge.
It's a double barrel shotgun.
Ugh,
and
it looked pretty bad.
But both of them get killed, and Safi, last week, Safi was trying to say something like everyone died, and I was just trying to say that, you know, those two people died, and so I just wanted to clarify, it was just the two people like I originally, you know, saw.
Well,
but I would, yeah, it was two people, that's it. And then I would like to just take a minute to improve both of these episodes with one simple editing fix. Instead of wasting all this time with this opening scene that we didn't need to have, you could have added almost all of this to the first episode, and at the very first scene, open it up with a bang, show almost all this stuff, and then just cut after she hides the girl behind the curtain and grabs the gun. Cut after that, and then you don't have to show the rest. We didn't need to see it. It wasn't necessary. There wasn't any suspense about it because we already knew that they got away, and so the second episode could have opened up with them getting away, or they're already driving, or they're at the motel or something.
Okay, well,
that would have been better, because we did not need to see the retread of that opening scene. We already saw that those two people died, so we didn't learn any new information.
No,
and
there was a problem, though.
And there wasn't any suspense that was added to the scene because of showing it again.
No, but I think there's another continuity error, unless I missed it.
Oh, no.
The thing is, she ran out to the car, and the woman was firing, and but she made it to the car, and then there's no keys, so she opens the glove compartment, no keys, but there's a gun he had, and she knows how to fire it. Okay, that's, I guess.
No, she doesn't.
Yes, she does. She fired it.
She just goes like pew pew.
Yeah, but you have to turn the safety off and all that stuff.
Oh, turning the safety off.
So I wouldn't know where safety is.
Safi, Nerf guns have safeties on them. Are you kidding me?
Well, so anyway, she starts firing, but she has no keys. He comes struggling. He's been shot really badly.
I thought they had the keys.
She didn't have the keys.
He gave her the keys.
Well, did you see him give her the keys?
I don't know. I can't remember.
They just came out of nowhere.
Maybe he pulled them out of his
Maybe
butt.
he did. Well, maybe he pulled them out of his pocket because he was bleeding out. He was dying.
He got shot.
He got shot real badly, and so anyway, I don't know what's going on with that, but they got away. But the thing is, that was a question. She was looking all over the keys. She didn't find any keys. She found the gun, and she started shooting at that woman in there, and of course she didn't know what she's doing, but she still was able to shoot the gun, which had bullets, which had safety off.
Well, here's my point. The way that you create suspense is you give the audience information that the characters don't know, and it's information that will put them in danger, and it gives you a stomach ache. And there was nothing that the show told us that would have made us feel, sick or in danger, because we already knew that both of these characters made it out of there. We knew that they were not dead. We knew that, the girl at least has to be alive because she's part of the mystery. So, I didn't really like the opening scene was fine, but it just was kind of unnecessary. And then after that, basically, there's a big chunk of this episode that's all about like this kind of weird kind of triangle between Jim Chee Chung and then Joe Sleephorn and then Manuelito, because Joe is getting really like nicey nice with Manuelito, and he's just kind of saying F you to Jim Chee, to the point of where he wanted to go. Where did he want to go in the first part?
He wants to go to the medical building.
Wants to go to this medical building.
Like a urgent care.
And he doesn't want to take Jim Chee. He wants to take Manuelito.
And she says, no, it's Chee's case.
It's Jim's case, and you said that in the book this is a Jim Chee book.
Yes.
So it's kind of weird, Safi.
Yeah. Like I said, she's not in this at all.
I don't know what's going on.
He's still with, or he's just broken up with, or whatever.
She's still working at Burger King somewhere.
That woman that he breaks up with, she wants him to move there, and he says no.
Mary Langhorne?
Yep, Langdon. Mary Langdon.
I'm glad she's not on the show anymore.
Yeah, well, anyway, yeah.
They ruined her.
But, okay, so we're on that now. Well, anyway.
No. We're not. Well, are you going to talk about the part with the sniper?
Oh, yeah.
Joe Sleephorn. They're investigating the diner. They had this weird thing where Joe Sleephorn is on his knees, and then Manuelito comes over and she gets on her knees, and it's like, this is such an awkward, like, doing that is good for your body. Like, it's good to squat, but, like, it was so strange. Like, they did it for, like, an extended period of time to where it's like, this had to have been really uncomfortable to do this. Like, it's such an unnatural, like, you never see in Twin Peaks, you never see Kyle MacLachlan squatting down on his knees and going like, okay, what's going on here with this Laura Palmer thing? And then Joe Sleephorn, he decides to walk over to the bushes, and he's like looking around with his flashlight, like he can sense something. And then you see the villain, or one of the villains, the hitman girl, she is scoping him out.
That's at the gas station.
That's at the diner.
I thought it was at the gas station.
What gas station?
Remember, she had come there because she didn't bring her vehicle. She broke down. Remember, they found a trail of radiator fluid.
Now you're confusing me.
Okay, after they investigated the diner.
What the hell?
They determined the girl and the guy probably got away because there's no other car there. He has a red car. He's not driving a truck, which everybody around there drives trucks for the most part. And they still do today. And then, so they think, well, and then they see this trail of radiator fluid. They figure it out because he bends down and he sniffs it or whatever. And they follow it. And they go to there's a gas station that may be nearby.
I thought that was the diner.
No, that was a effing gas station. And then they ask if somebody's been there in the last hour. And he says there's a woman with blonde hair, a tall woman, which there's no blonde women around there. So she would stick out like a sore thumb, okay? For one thing, she's a white woman. The next thing, she's tall. And the third thing, she's blonde. So anyway, he said she bought this radiator fluid and maybe something else. And so they go out but he says he doesn't know what direction she went because she walked there. She didn't have the vehicle, which means it ran out before she could get there. And so he gets his flashlight and puts it out into the desert, and she's ready to kill him. She's got her gun cocked and ready to go, and it has a scope on it.
See,
I
didn't know if that was supposed to be suspenseful.
I don't know what it was.
Because we know that she's not going to kill him.
But
so
the thing is, she's a hit person, and I don't think they're supposed to take other people. They're supposed to leave. They're only out for one person.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Well,
and so why would she have killed them?
Yeah.
And the two cops too. And that would be a federal, because Navajo, the reservation is a federal property. The FBI would come out there, and probably what is it with the guns? Starts with an I.
The IRS.
No!
They have guns now too.
Whatever it's called. But anyway, they would be out there and investigating. So I'm like, what is she doing? Why are they doing that?
It seemed like they're just trying to create this artificial suspense from like, ooh, she's watching them. She's got him in her sights. We can put this moment in the trailer. It'll be really scary.
So anyway, they leave and they head toward the clinic. Or who heads toward the clinic? Just Leaphorn first, right?
See, I told you guys this was why she's confusing me, because now I'm totally confused about what even happened in the episode.
Oh, didn't you watch it?
I did, but like the way that you're describing things and ordering things, it's just like my brain has been scrambled like eggs.
Well, the next day, I guess. Is it the next day?
They don't go to the medical center. They go to the motel.
Yeah, that's right. They go to the motel next. I just didn't even write all that down.
Oh, God.
Because nothing really happened. What do they... And they're there at the motel.
They're there.
But they get away.
See, no, I'd like to talk about this before you rush on. Because, he's... The guy, Albert, and then his... Did you say she's his cousin?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, he's like bleeding all over the place.
He's bleeding out.
I would like to say though, this whole scene is a great scene for people to watch so that they can see why pandemics happen. Because the way that he's bleeding everywhere, and he's just like, it looks like a crime scene. He's just like, he's putting his bloody hands everywhere, blood all over the walls, on the floor, in the bathtub.
This is at the hotel.
And you think about, this is what happens like when people who don't wash their hands are out in places and like they put their germs everywhere. Like, this is why people are still getting the plague, is because of stuff like this. But they have this really predictable part where, they get into the motel room and then they're already gone. The two are already gone. And it's like, this whole episode is basically a glorified chase scene.
It is. The whole thing. The whole episode.
Is it like that in the book, Safi?
No.
Does that happen in the book?
No.
Well, I don't understand, what even happens in the book?
In the book, everything is so spread out.
Oh.
And you can't, it's very hard. Well, they could still do it because we've seen it in previous seasons.
You said there was like a laundromat in the book or something.
Yeah, the book is about a laundromat. About somebody I told you what happened in the book. Some guy from L.A. Gets killed near the laundromat, and there's an old man in there, and the old man comes out, like right after it happened or right when it happened. And he's an old Navajo. He's like 83 or something. And he's like, and he can't even speak very good English. I mean, hardly any English at all. He speaks Navajo, of course. He's 83. And he stares right at the hit man, not hit woman, hit man.
Oh.
And so his life is in danger. because he saw him, and he saw him hovering.
Why can't they just adapt that?
I don't know.
Why can't they just do that? That's already sounds a lot better than what they've done on the show.
Oh, anyway, that's what happened. It's about a laundromat. He was doing his laundry.
Oh.
I think.
What are they doing here on the show?
Or he could have gotten a Coke there because that's
he got
the
a
thing.
Coke?
He might have. I don't remember.
That's
it was a laundromat. It was not a diner with a milkshake and so.
That's what Safi likes to get. She likes to go to McDonald's and she gets a small Coke.
Okay, well, anyway. What are we talking about? Okay, well, they're at so they're already gone. There's blood everywhere.
Yeah, there's blood everywhere.
So it's oh God. So anyway, the thing is, in real life, if you get a gunshot or any kind of wound like that, where you're bleeding, you're bleeding out.
Yeah.
And depending on the severity, you're going to die soon. If it's bad, you're going to die sooner rather than later. So I know he's going to die after she keeps evading everybody. She should be helping him. What is she going to do? She's not a medical person.
Yeah, it's really weird.
It's irritating. But I mean, she's young. She's a teenager, and she's really not logical.
She's
okay?
16. You know,
right.
She's old enough for Jeffrey Epstein, but she's not old enough to know right from wrong.
I'm not going to even respond to that. It's not funny. Not funny. The victims are not laughing. Okay.
Well, I'm not laughing either because they're not doing a good show.
Family.
They're not doing a good show here.
Well, no. Anyway, she's just irresponsible. But he should be getting medical help.
What part
He's bleeding out. He's going to die.
What part of what I said is factually incorrect, Safi? You're a fucking liar.
Okay, let's just move on. So next, Leaphorn ends up going by himself to the clinic. And he talks to the nurse who says, "Oh, Emma's in L.A." And he says, "Well, how is she?" "Well, why don't you call her yourself?" So we got to hear that personal thing. And then
that's
he
Safi's version of
a picture
review.
Of the teenager, and he says, "I'm looking for them. If either one shows up, because I don't know if he says that he's been injured, but anyway." And so he gives them the card, and they. So anyway, next, go ahead.
No, because you didn't even say the truth of what that woman said. She said some bullshit about, like, Emma's happy. She has a place now. She's happy. And he's like, good. I'm a boring old person, and I'm okay with that now.
Yeah, he actually, in a way, he did say something like that. Not that I'm old, but that's good.
Really?
Or something. That's what he said. Something that.
I don't think it's good at all because
it's not
it's
good.
just complete bullshit. What have the writers done to those characters?
I don't know.
Why is Emma in Los Angeles? She's not going to become an actress on the show. She's an actress in real life. You know, I don't understand like what this business is with like what I mean. How is that story going to conclude? How is that story going to come to an end? Like, is he going to go to L.A. and then they're going to do this feminazi bullshit where he sees her and they talk and she's like, I'm happy now that I'm a strong, independent woman. And he's like, okay, bye. And he just leaves. Like, that would suck. Like, why don't they just have her go back to New Mexico, go back home and shut up and just move on from that? Because it was a stupid story. It's artificial drama. It's unnatural to the characters, and it's a big fuck you to the fans.
Anyway, you know that's just BS, and it goes by really quick. But I guess that was our little Emma LA link that's going to come up later. It's like a foreshadowing.
What is she doing in LA?
I don't know, but she's not happy there. Give me a break. I don't believe for 1 minute. And that would never, I don't think another Navajo woman who's related to her would say that was a good thing for her to be there.
I don't either.
So to me, that was white people BS. Belagana, as they say. for white people.
That was feminazi modern writing bullshit.
And I just don't believe it. So anyway, besides that, in real life, she's a real Navajo. So, anyway, moving on. So he gives her the information. Well, now what? We've got the thing where it's the next day, I guess, in the morning.
Yeah.
And
they're at the hospital, and the teenage girl goes in there. She steals a bunch of supplies, and this woman catches her when she gets out of the closet, and then she shows her a box of tampons and says that, like, she ran out of them and that, like, her time has come. And so she just asks to go to the bathroom, and the woman goes with her, and it's a big... But again, like, what is she going to do for that guy? Like, that guy needs actual help. And
they show him in the car. He's bleeding all over the car.
He's just dying. Like, he's dying. He gets in another car, and he's going to hotwire it, and he's just like,
Marco, why did he do that? He did that because he missed a whole part. Okay, so anyway, that's going on. So you go back to police station. Well, Leaphorn and Manuelito got there first, and Manuelito, they're in his office with the door closed.
Oh yeah, we got to talk about the drama.
She says, "No, I'm not really comfortable. He suspects something is going on."
Chee.
And I'm really not comfortable with not telling him. And he said, "I will." And this was really weak-kneed. Marco's been talking about his character.
Yeah.
And it was very... I understand that it is his right, and he should be telling the whole office about what's going to happen. Maybe he shouldn't have said anything to her. That's what I'm thinking. But yes, it's not her right to tell him. He has to do it. And she says, "Well, hurry up. Why don't you tell him? Because he suspects something, and I feel like I'm lying to him."
And it is wrong. And then Joe says the most stupid thing ever, which he says, if 3 people know about something, it's not a secret. Well, how do you explain Jeffrey Epstein?
Oh God!
And all the people that he worked with, and how that was a secret for all those years.
Well, they sure did, because of the money.
What if 3
money and power?
What if 3 people? Well, it was still a secret though. So how does that make sense here? Like, if 3 people know something, it's not a secret. That's the most retarded, asinine, semantic bullshit I've ever heard. So if 1,000 people worked on the next Avengers movie and they all know that a character's going to die in the movie, it's no longer a secret? Like, it's so stupid. Like, what is the actual reason here that the show is trying to give us that Joe just doesn't tell Jim Chee, "I'm going to retire because my character sucks"?
Well, he is the employer, and he really should be, because Jim Chee, because the way he's been acting about Emma, and he going away, going out in the desert, and like having a camp out or something to find himself. I don't know. He just thinks something's going on with him. And
yeah, like in all the other seasons too.
So anyway, Jim Chee comes in, and then they're in there talking, but the door's closed, and then they get the call to go to the clinic, that she's there, that he's there. So they have to race out, all 3 race out there, of course, which they needed all 3, and they still didn't get them, except they did get her, which they had to show all that, where she had to actually jump out of the upper window.
Yeah, there is a nice little chase sequence between Joe, Manuelito, and the girl. And thank God that Jeffrey didn't get her, and that they got her in the end.
But anyway,
thank God.
The woman, the shooter's there too, and she saw those vehicles before before they chased her around in and out of the clinic. She came up, and Gorman saw her, so he goes into another car to hotwire it, and he has tools to do it. So that he does that back in L.A. So anyway, because he had a little toolkit with him to do it.
There's a great shot where he's looking at his mirror, and he sees her in the van, and then he looks around, and then he looks at the mirror again, and she's gone. That was a really good shot.
Yeah, but he saw her fiddling with the two police cars.
Yeah, she messes around with both of their cars, and it's so queer because this was supposed to be like suspense. Like, what is she doing? What's going to happen to those characters because of that? And they mess it up because logically, you think about from his position, he needs medical help, and also he could tell them about how she screwed with their cars. And instead of that, he just sits there and then drives off when the girl gets caught. And then what happens is the van goes after him, and I knew in that moment, uh-oh, he's fucked, he's dead. And then the police try to go after them, or go after him only, because they don't know if she's there, and they're not able to go because she screwed with their cars. So that was totally like, okay.
And they're in the middle of nowhere, and they need these parts. It's the same part for each car. They're in the middle of nowhere. So they're not going to get that part from AAA in 30 minutes. They're going to have to wait a little while. So anyway,
that could have been done a lot better. I mean, it seems like something that was a little too convenient. Like, did that happen in the book, Safi?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay, well, I didn't like it. So, I think too, like, they could have.
I thought it was very convenient too.
They could have dragged it out and had it to where, like, okay, they go after him some other way, like they use someone else's car or something.
Well, I don't think there was any other car there.
I don't know. It just felt like,
except the red one with blood all over it.
It just felt like 1, 2, 3, 4. It didn't feel. It didn't feel like the best that it could have been. Like, they have all the ingredients here to make a really suspenseful scene in a show, and they're just kind of doing these little scenes, and it's like, okay, that happened, and there's no real weight to what's going on. You don't really feel the stakes because this guy is an idiot. I mean, he's a complete Nimrod. I mean, he's gravely hurt, and it's just like, whatever.
And I don't even know how he stayed awake to drive the car to where he went.
Yeah, he drove really well too. Yeah. He was just like,
So anyway, they find out, I think it's the grandpa. Remember, she has a grandpa. And so they don't tell it, or they want to know where he would go. And I think it's the grandpa who they showed that she lived with because her parents are dead, and when she didn't live at the orphanage. And so they go out there, and it's so dumb, it just makes me want to he's bleeding out, and he can hardly, I don't even know how he drove there, but I mean, but he had to jump the car too.
Yeah.
First, that took some effort.
He called upon the spirit of your mom.
Of jumping the car jumping system. So anyway,
they find him, the trio of terror. They find the Albert. I keep forgetting his name because he's not really much of a character. His last name is
Gorman, so you can just say Gorman.
No, I don't want to. And so they find him at a Death Hogan.
And they put that on the screen.
This was really interesting because, Joe Leaphorn said in the first episode that Jim Chee cannot be sheriff because he focuses on the spiritual more than the real.
Well, they're not supposed to enter the Hogan, a Death Hogan. How do they know it's a Death Hogan? Why? Because it's a structure with one of the walls knocked out. It's a certain wall, directional, and I can't remember which one it is. It's always the same one, and it's to let the Chindi spirit out, which is the spirit of the dead person, and the Chindi's the bad spirit. And so Navajos don't go in there.
Well, guess what? Jim Chee goes in there with no problem at all.
He has to, and it's not a no problem.
And he says, it's the job. And I thought that was so ironic after Joe Sleephorn says he doesn't, he focuses on spirituality. He's too spiritual.
And only he goes in there, too.
Only he goes in there. Both of them are too pussy to go into the Death Hogan.
They're not really allowed to do that.
They need to do their job, though. They need to get the dead body. And so it's like, look at this situation here. Jim Chee did something that neither those other two had the balls to do, and yet Joe Sleephorn has the gall to say that he focuses on, he's too delusional, he's too spiritual.
Well, I think
it's just a bunch of bullshit.
But he has in the books. He has had to go into a Death Hogan.
Joe Sleephorn?
Yes.
Oh, well, he hasn't done it on the show.
He hasn't done it on this show. I don't believe he's been in any Death Hogan.
Safi, this version of Joe Sleephorn is such a bitch that he can hardly do anything. He can hardly drive a car. He is such a weakling. He's such a trash character. And it blows my mind why they're doing this.
Well,
why they've done what they've done.
Anyway, I thought the person in the Hogan would be the grandpa. Because you know what the problem is? We have another problem here.
Oh.
Who knocked out the wall of the Hogan? It wouldn't be the woman. She doesn't know anything about that.
Albert did it.
That doesn't make any sense. That's what I say.
He did it with this. While he was dying, he's just like,
Who did that? Who knocked the wall out? I thought that maybe she had kidnapped him and she was going to either, because I don't know what she's looking for him for. Because it's like she's looking for somebody else too. Or
to find the other guy, I guess. To ask him about the other guy.
And so I thought that maybe she kidnapped him. So he goes in there and he starts having almost like a PTSD
Jim Chee.
Panic problem. Yes.
Yeah.
And you hear all these, probably the ceremony with the Chindi spirit.
I thought that was cool.
Yeah, it was. And I think he even had visions of, his mother, he found his mother dead, I believe, years before when he was a kid. And I think he was thinking of that too. Anyway, but you know what? Guess who it was? It was Gorman. He's dead. So his face, he was wrapped up. So somebody wrapped him up and they knocked out the wall of the Hogan. Who did that? Who did that?
They wrapped him up like a pig in a blanket.
He was really wrapped up. But I think you're supposed to do that. I think the body's got to face a certain wall, and then a certain wall has to be knocked out to let the Chindi out.
Yeah.
Who did that? Who knocked the wall out? Did the grandpa knock it out? Did she kidnap the grandpa to get at the girl? Because maybe the hit woman thinks the girl knows whoever they're looking for, and she doesn't even know who they're looking for. I don't believe. Found out.
All I know is she's a terrible hitman, and
she's a weirdo. I don't know what else to say.
There was a scene too where she fixed up her van and disguised it and stuff, but
she sprayed the paint. She changed the tires.
It was kind of interesting.
Fixed the what is it, the radiator, and put the fluid in so it wouldn't leak anymore.
So overall, my review of the episode is I give it a B.
Yeah, I give it a B too.
I thought it was better than last week because it wasn't so Manuelito forward, but at the same time, it felt like almost like a nothing burger of an episode because.
And I don't understand it.
And it's weird because just because you have 8 episodes, that doesn't mean you can dick around, you know. And if you had 24 episodes, you could dick around. Like I watched an episode of The Mentalist yesterday, and it was not a very good episode, but like I will accept if you have 24 episodes, you can have 4 to 8 episodes that are mediocre. Because those other episodes are all worth it, and still You get to see the characters, every episode, and it builds it up to where you care about them. And I don't really care about what's going on the show. I'm just kind of watching it because it's entertaining and because I have to review it. So, Safi, what do you have to say?
Well, I gave it a B. I think I even said it at the beginning. And I just, like I said, I don't understand how they can afford to, quote, waste an episode, because they can't afford it. And if they do that and they have a ton more to do, that means they're going to be racing through a few, which means it'll be rushing, and you'll be able to tell they rushed.
Yeah.
And that's not good. So we'll see what happens, but...
Well, I would like to ask a question, because it seems like in all 4 seasons, I think, or at least 3... No, all 4 seasons, there's some huge part of the show that revolves around a character being on the run and having injuries, having to dodge the police.
That's true.
Is that like something that keeps on happening in the books? Like it's like a big part of the books? Because
I think it does happen a few times.
Well, it feels like on the show, like they almost use it as like a crutch, to where it's like, oh, here's the scene where they ask for a witness to see where a person is. Here's the scene where the person's on the run. Here's the scene where they have injuries. They hardly ever do that on the Mentalist.
Oh, the thing is, I do want to say that she had to have found him. So, did he already die? Did she finish him off? I don't even think she needed to. Like I said, he was bleeding out.
You're asking questions that they're going to answer.
I know that, but I'm just saying I had thought about that at the end, and then maybe she had gone, and then the grandpa was hiding, and he went out there and knocked the wall out and disappeared. Because it was all inside. It was a Hogan, and it was all made up. I think they had a bed in there and some other furniture. So somebody was living in there. A grandpa? I don't know. And so he had to go away, because he can't be in there. He's Navajo. He's an older man. So he wouldn't be able to live there. So I'm just wondering about those events at the end. But we don't see. Okay? That's it. That's all I have to say.
Wow.
We'll see what happens. Till next week.
So, Safi,
if you like this
please
video,
like, comment, subscribe, and if you're a hardcore fan, even a fanboy of either Safi or Marco, or both, then you can check out our Patreon page. We actually have gotten our first subscriber. I can't remember the person's name, but I won't say it if they might not want me to say it. But it's really, really cool, because we have tons of bonus content over there and full spoiler movie reviews. So they're like an hour a piece. My short film is there, both versions. It's actually highlighted in the store. So if you just wanted to see the short film and nothing else, then you could just get the short film. And there's bonus content of behind the scenes of my film and tons of extra videos and upcoming content. So if you want to support this channel in another way, then feel free to go on over and check it out.
That's it. So goodbye, everybody.
Bye.